Hey guys, welcome back. We're going to do the foldable for the area of a circle and then the area of a part of a circle. Okay, so let's first look at our formulas. So if you flip over your formulas, you get the area of a circle is pi r squared. So we investigated that when they give us a circle, if they give us all the way across this 10, if they give us the diameter, we don't have the diameter in our formula. But we could split that in half. So 10 divided by 2 is 5. So it's the radius of 5. So therefore you could find the radius of 5. Pi times 5 times 5, or 25 pi. Now we would leave it like that unless they told us to go ahead and multiply or round, and it looks like they did. So we're going to multiply things out and round to the nearest tenth. So it says find the area of a circle. So the area of a circle is pi r squared. So that would be pi times 12 times 12, or 144 pi. They've asked me to use 3.14, so I will. And round to the 10th. So 3.14 times 12 times 12. 452 point, round to the nearest tenth, so 452.2. Centimeters squared. All right, here, got area of a circle, pi r squared, so pi, oh, I'm not falling for that. That's the diameter, so if I divide by 2, I get 9.5. So 9.5 and 9.5, those are the radii. So 9.5 and 9.5. Times 9.5 times 9.5. 283.4 if I round up to the nearest 10. All right, now working backwards, can I find the radius? So the area of the circle is pi r squared. So if my area of my circle, I can plug in. I notice I want to move this pi, right, down underneath. So 379.94, and we can move the pi down. And I want to find the radius, not the radius squared. So I've got to take the square root of the radius, square root of both sides, and that will tell me my radius. 379.94 divided by pi. 379.94 divided by pi. And, ooh, 121. Oh, we'll take the square root and get 11. So we got 121, so that means 11. Now find the diameter. So if they asked that in the last one, I just, okay, if this is 11 all the way across 22. So make sure that you kind of are tracking. If they change the answer or the question instructions, you've got to change the way you solve. Here, we're solving for the diameter, and we're given the area. So the area is 19,625. So we can move pi down. And I don't want radius squared, so I'll take the square root. 19.625. 19.625. No, 19.625 divided by pi, and we'll take the square root. But that's only the radius, so that the diameter is 2 times the radius. So 2 times 2.5 is 5, and that makes sense. Cool. So now that we've reviewed the circles, the area of circles in general, now we can go ahead and find the area of parts of a circle. So the area, we call that the sector, right? A sector, the area of this sector is in a ratio with the whole circle. So the whole circle's area is that. And in that same way, it makes a ratio with this angle here, and in relation to the whole all the way around, right? So using the length swap, I could move that up, right? And so we could say the measure of this arc over 360 times pi r squared. This is the portion of the area of the whole circle that I want. That's the formula for the area of a sector. Now, oftentimes that little word is a big word, so I just call it, instead of a sub s, a lowercase s. So the area of a sector is this angle times pi r squared. So that'd be 4 times 4. So 62 over 360. 62 over 360 times pi times 4 times 4. I get, I'm rounding to the nearest tenth, so 8.7 inches squared. Now for part 6, looks to be the same thing. The area of a sector is the ratio of the angle to the whole central angle times pi times the radius squared, or the radius times the radius. The 120 divided by 360 times pi times 11 times 11. 126, round to the nearest tenth, 126.6. Now working backwards, the area of my sector is this ratio times pi radius squared. Noticing they actually gave me the area of that sector, so I can substitute that in. I can also move this 36 up here with it, and the 150 and the pi down to the bottom, leaving me radius squared, but I don't want to write radius squared. If I did, I'd have to take the square root of both sides. So I'm just going to write radius, and I'm going to take the square root of that. All right, wow, that's a lot to type in my calculator. Okay, 360 times the 6411 divided by 150 divided by pi, I get 49. So this is the square root of 49, and interestingly, that would be 7. So our radius is 7 inches. Looking at 8, they'd ask the same thing, except they want the diameter. So if that happened last time, I could just double it and say the diameter is 14. So I can use the same method in 7. The area of my sector, 74.14, is equal to my angle times pi times my radius squared. We can move the 360 up here. And instead of writing radius squared, we'll write radius and take the square root of both sides. So lots to type in my calculator. 360 times 74.14. Divided by 85, divided by pi. So I get 100. That's convenient. So the square root of 100, I'll show you in the calculator, is 10, because 10 times 10 is 100. So the radius is 10. Not so fast. The diameter is 2 times the radius. So that would be 2 times 10, or 20 yards. There you go, guys. Have a good one. Check out the next video for the next foldable if you want to double check your answers.